Guido.
Good evening, welcome in Circolo Canottiere Agnene. Circolo Canottiere Agnene is hosting us, so I would like to say thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to present this important event. Circolo Canottiere Agnene is also twisted with Tognazzi Marine Village. Marco Trombetti and Isabella André are full member of Tognazzi, that is a club that is supporting this event. Buonasera a tutti, benvenuti al Circolo Canottiere Agnene. Ho l'onore di introdurre e di presentare questa sfida che Marco Trombetti e Isabella André ci presenteranno. Loro sono anche soci del Tognazzi Marine Village, il circolo gemellato col Canottieri. Io ringrazio di questa opportunità di essere qui oggi a presentare questo importante evento. Questa vi anticipo che è una bellissima avventura, senza anticipare quello che sentiremo, è una bellissima sfida del mare, dell'uomo in un mondo di tecnologia come quella di oggi, dove la tecnologia, come dire, non è quella di oggi ma è quella del passato. Lascio la parola all'amico e consocio Marco Trombetti, che ringrazio ovviamente di essere qui con noi. Marco.
Buonasera a tutti, good evening. Thank you for being here. And it's been a while that we have been thinking about doing a challenge, and we're very happy to announce it today. But before announcing our challenge, we would like to introduce some of you that have not met the project yet, know what we already did in 2023. And so Translated 9 is the name of the boat. S165 Sparkman and Stevens. They went around the world in the Ocean Globe Race 2023. And it's been a special adventure. We'll share with you some of the things that happened in the last edition, and then what we think we would like to do next. So that is the race of 2023. Is a regatta. Don will say something after, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Whitbread Around the World race, the most famous and adventurous around the world race in history. Started in 1973. It's a tough race. 3 people died in the first edition, 2 people died in the second edition, so it's not a joke. But I didn't know it. And so without having sailed ever in my life, without not even having a friend, being a sailor, pretty naive, I decided to apply as a skipper without a boat. And I contacted Don. And when you take on challenges that are a little bigger than what you think is possible and what other people think are possible, what happens is that great people come to help you. They come to help you saying, hey, Marco, if you're going to do this, you will die. And so, please, let me help you. And the first person to come and help us was Paul Caillard. 7 times America's Cup, 2 times Whitbread Around the World. He won in 97. And he said to me, Marco, I'm going to help you. I said, oh, great. Let's go together. No. I will never get back into the hell again. I will help you on land. And so I will tell you how to do it. I will give you advice. I will be your ambassador of the project, but no way. Other people came, and Vittorio Malingri and Nico Malingri helped us as the pro of this race. 2 great around the world sailors. Vittorio did the Vande many years ago, and his father and his uncle did the first edition of the Whitbread Around the World race in 1973. So they're closing the circle of the family. And so we decided to join, and because I was not an expert, I think I leveled down the competition, and so everybody applied to come with us. 1,500 people applied, and we recruited about 700 to come and sail with us. And out of these 700, 27 were selected. Of these 27, 23 have never sailed the ocean before. But we had 2 years to prepare. And you know something? When you fear and when you start realizing the problem you got into, when you realize, that the adventure is bigger than you thought, you work hard. You work harder than anyone. And I think that's what happened. For 2 years, 2 years and a half, Translation 9 trained more than anyone. We think we did about 25,000 miles of training, tested the first leg, the last leg. We went to Cape Town, to Rio, to the Azores, everywhere, because we feared now the thing. And you know what happened when you work harder than anyone, even if you are the underdog, boom. You do the first leg and you win. And you win big. 2.5 days advantage in IRC. That's incredible. And what happened is that you're very humble. You still think that you're very lucky. And for that reason, you keep working super hard. And boom, we won the second leg. At this point, we're already the boat, the Italian boat, that won more in the history of the Around the World race, the crew edition. And this is when the problems start. When you start thinking that you're a pro, that you're good, and you stop being humble and working hard, you have to fear. And sometimes your enemy is not another boat, it's Mother Nature. And so in Cape Horn, we met 10 meters wave. We met 50 knots of wind, sometimes 60 knots. And what happened? We knocked down the boat 4 times. And we cracked the hull, and we start getting water in. And I remember I called Don to say, Don, we're sinking. And at that point, think about 2 years, 2.5 years of preparation. You're winning. We started from Auckland. And in Auckland, Steinlager, the boat that is the only boat in the history that won the 4-leg, is there in the main square. So my idea is that, we keep winning, there will be a statue of Marco near the Colosseum. And no, Mother Nature reminds you that you need to be humble. And there is always someone stronger than you. If it's not man, it's nature. And we cried for 2.5 days, and we reached those islands called the Falkland Islands. And yes, we have been crying for 2.5 days. But what I want to share with you is this. That as soon as we get out of that boat, we look back and we had a new dream. The dream was to restart. And the first big learning for us is that doesn't matter how big is the dream you have, don't worry, because if you fail, nobody remembers the failure. The only thing you will remember is the new dream you have. The dream was, what if we can repair this boat and bring it to the 4th leg and try to win the 4th leg? And that started a new adventure that was way better than the one before. But there is no crane in the Falkland Islands. There's not a place where you can take the boat out of the water and fix it. But there was a cargo ship 9 hours far. And in the Southern Ocean, everybody helped everybody. And so we called the captain on the radio. He said, I'm coming. I will help you. And he did. He put it out of the water. We found a beautiful van here in the field that was not working, that we repaired. Look, these are not the faces of people that just broke the boat. These are people happy because we found a van, a minivan, to go around the island. Falkland Island, 3,000 people. And then we found this beautiful, that's the beer you got if you do around the world. And that's the cradle. That's a structure, metal structure, where we can maybe put the boat. And in fact, we did it. But there is no fiberglass, there is no epoxy to repair the boat. And so we found this small plane in the Falkland Island that was able to fly to Santiago del Chile. Little problem, Argentina does not allow us to fly over Argentina because of the war, commercial war with the Falkland. And so basically we had to go around Argentina. And the pilot, Sebastián Diaz, I still will always remember that name, my broken Spanish, I was trying to communicate with him and say, Sebastián, look, we need to go to Santiago to get the fiberglass. He said, no, I only have 4.5 hours of fuel, and that is 4 hours. It's already too far. If we have headwinds, we'll not get there. I said, hey, look, I invent a solution to go there. There's no commercial flight in the Falkland, nothing. And say, try invent something. And then you hear silence. When you hear silence, it means opportunity. Sebastián, what are you thinking? And he said, you know, I think I have a plastic bag where we can put fuel. It's called a bladder. We can put some fuel in, and maybe we can reach Santiago del Chile by going back Cape Horn, so all in Chile, not going through Argentina. And in fact, we did it. And that's the big plastic bag with 160 gallons, 500 liters of fuel connected to the wings, to the tanks in the wings of the plane. And we slept on the floor because there's not really a place to work. And I see Baptiste here that reminds very well that moment. And you work in these boats, you work 6 hours and then you sleep 6 hours. And so if you want to keep the speed and fix the boat, that's what we have been doing. And the magic happened. The day before, the night before the start, we managed to reach Punta del Este. Okay, so we won the first leg, we won the second, we were winning the third, then we broke. Okay, we're up here, we can no longer win the big prize. We're out of the race, but we still have a chance to win the fourth leg. And so I get out. Isabel is not here today, but it's my wife and co-founder of Translated. Our little Leo, he's turning 8 today, so we're splitting. She's taking care of him today in the party. And she has to do this leg. And so I take the kid, and she goes. And oops, spoiler. So, but we are not the Translated of before. And so when we started, we were very tired, and we were in position 9, no longer the always first position. Bad start, bad first 2 days, 3 days. But at day number 5, we're back in position 5, and then in position 3, and then position 2, and boom, we're first again. That, for us, was the best comeback ever. Super happy. Okay, and again, when you're too happy, when you start feeling that everything is good, Mother Nature will come, and boom. Reminded us, and that's Isabel that was crying when she called me, breaking the seal. Officially, she first called it Don, organizer, then the husband. and to say that the boat again is sinking. And so, you know, the crack that we found in the Falkland, you know, we only understood the superficial problem, but there was a structural problem, and we didn't get it. And so the next storm, the boat broke again. And not only the boat broke, at this time also Isabel broke her leg. Okay, so 3 days with a broken leg. She was trying to change a sail at night in the bow, and she come out of the boat and she tells me, Marco, repair this boat and bring it to the finish line. And so when your wife tells you to do something, you do it. And she got in a plane in Italy alone, and to get the surgery. And at that point, everybody left, because really there is nothing to win at this point. There is not another leg that we can win. There is not another trophy. There is nothing. And but Isabel said, repair it and bring it to the finish line. And so we let all the team go. And I think there was just Valerio. Where is Valerio? Valerio is the biggest opponent of the project. He's the chief financial officer of the company. Now, I always think, why a translation company should sail around the world? But when the big problem come, at the end is Valerio coming and helping. And so, spending some days there, trying to fix the boat, and we found a way, not a great way to repair it, but enough to reach the destination, Cowes, in 8 days. And the project was saved by one person, the Ezgim, the youngest sailor we got. And she was not the best sailor in our crew. She was young, a woman, and she was selected because of resilience and determination. And so the youngest member of the crew saved the Around the World, because she called me and said, Marco, are you still in Madeira? I said, yes. You really think you can repair the boat? I said, yes. She did some silence. Again, silence equal opportunity. And she said, I'm coming back. If you're sailing, I'm coming back. And immediately after, I received a call 30 minutes after from Baptiste, the second youngest. And there was another one there he didn't go home just because he couldn't. He always had problem with his passport. And so they would not let him out. He had to stay on the boat all the time. And one after the other, the crew came back, from the youngest one to the pro. The youngest are the future, and that's another learning we got. And then that's the picture of when we arrived. For us, it was like winning the Around the World race 3 times in a row. And the reason is very simple. And I think this is the best learning we got from this experience, and I think what is motivating us again on a new challenge is that sometimes in life you get to a point where there is not another leg, there is not another option. No? We don't have many other things to do in our life. And at this point, what you need to make sure that you're making the right choice. It's not about doing something because there is a prize, it's doing something because it's the right thing to do. And the fact that we restarted from Madeira because it was the right thing to do is the biggest prize ever for us. And that's why you see all the smiling faces. Now I have a small video to show you our smiling faces in the Around the World. Here it is.
We did it! You've been great, guys! Really great!
Hey Don, this is the second and most important crack. So it is, we're in the aft cabin. Inside here.
The boat is leaking again, or the repair people in the organized didn't take so much, so didn't stick to the instructions, so it's leaking inside it. Then at some point, it was very dangerous. So.
I have two of the people that sailed around the world with me. It's Marco and Baptiste, and also Jonathan, the captain of our boat. Please stand up, and you deserve an applause. So, yes, citation from you. Thank you. So obviously, you cannot say you never give up and then you leave a job unfinished. There is a race, there is the Ocean Globe Race 2027. Same rules, same beautiful regatta. We want to join to win. And we want to do it, yes, to win, even if we know it's super hard, even if we know that luck is not always on your side, even if we know it's extremely dangerous, even if there are great teams that sail it better than us in many, many occasions, but we think we would like to try and exactly try to win it. And the reason is that for three reasons. So number one, because Italy has never won an around-the-world race. The best result was 5th place. And I think we deserve a victory for Italy. And it's an Italian boat. Yes, it's full of many people from many nations, but it's in our heart is an Italian boat that wants to prove that diversity is an asset. And so an Italian boat that is spreading values of inclusion and unity versus hate. And we love that. The second reason is that Translated works in the field of language translation. And many, many people in language translation are doing what we think is the most important job for humanity today, allowing everyone to understand and be understood in their own language. And that we think is more important than going to Mars. Because if we don't understand each other, we cannot take on those challenges. And so we want to do it for all the people in translation, in localization, so that they have one project about their industry that win a big major event. And last thing, obviously, we want to do it for all the people that believe in humans, because that's what we wrote on the vote. We believe in people that take on challenges that are a little bigger than what they think is possible. They do great things, they make progress in humanity, but also they inspire many other people to do great things. And so that, for that reason, we truly want to participate. That is from the notice of race of today. That will be the around the world this time, very similar to last time. Don will tell us more. We're recruiting, again, not based on skills. We're recruiting on value first, values, attitude second, and then skills. Doesn't matter if you're not expert. Today, we're opening the selection, and we will recruit by the people that have the value for this project. We already did it in the past. We trained people that became from beginners to pro. And I think we can do it again. We want to prove the centrality of human in a time where technology seems the only thing people care about. Last time it was 1,500 applications, 27 crew members, and 23 that never sailed the ocean. I think we would like to do something similar this time, and today we're opening the selection. So if you go on the Translated 9 website, which is translated.com/9 as a number, the selection is already open. And it will be open for the next 3 weeks. And then the training process will start. So you apply, there is a 1-day tryout, and then there is multiple days tryout in what I will show you in a second. And then there will be the final selection for the people that do the race will close around May next year. That is the training program. So in October, we're doing the Middle Sea race in Malta. Then we're going to Cagliari, probably stop in Cagliari, in Alicante. In all these little stops will be 3-4 days, 5. Great way to sail with us, learn more, and be part of the selection. We will do the first Atlantic crossing. We'll do 2 regattas in the Caribbean. And then this year, we typically, the best way to train for the around the world is the Cape to Rio regatta in the Southern Ocean. But this year, there's not the Cape to Rio, it will be next year. So the most similar thing is the North Atlantic, and that's where we'll be training. It's cold, big waves. Strangely enough, the earth is round, so in the top you find the same thing you find in the south. And we will recruit 8 professionals and 22 beginners. Pro mean someone that have been paid to do sailing in their career, or they work in the field of maritime industries. The definition is there, but you know, it's we'll recruit 8, and on board we can have maximum of 3. 3 out of 10 people can be professionals. So this will include the team, the crew, and the reserves. Yes, we believe in humans. That is what the project is about. And I want to thank you. And I want to thank you all the people that are connected and are thinking about applying, because this is a big adventure and we want to do it together. We want to restart exactly from the beginning. Even if we have learned many things, we're willing to click the reset button, welcome some new people that have never been in the ocean before, and join this race with the same values as before. Thank you so much. And I leave now the floor to Don McIntyre, the founder of the Ocean Globe Race and many other incredible regattas, to continue and introduce us to this beautiful race.
Thanks, Marco. In fact, it's been kind of interesting, and I'm going to go right back to the beginning for us. We created an event called the Golden Globe Race, which was the very first single-handed solo around the world non-stop race, won by Robin Oxjohnson in Sue Haley, who then eventually went on to be instrumental in creating and forming the first Whitbread races. Anyway, I had personally tried to enter 3 Whitbread races, okay? On three occasions I tried to get there. Didn't happen, and I said if the Golden Globe race was successful, we would absolutely set up a 50th anniversary edition of the Whitbread race called the Ocean Globe Race, and that's what happened. Why did we want to do these events? I'm a great believer that adventure makes good people. It's very challenging, and it's all about sharing emotions, sharing and inspiring other people through what you're doing, okay? And that's what happened. We came up with the idea of a 50th anniversary edition going back to 1973. The core principle was that there's no technology at all, and we'd be racing in classic yachts that were similar to those that had done it in 1973. So it was completely unique, completely different. And now I'm just cutting back to the very first phone call I got from Marco when he called me, because one of the core principles of all our races has always been, and we've been espousing to this principle since 2015 when we started working on the Golden Globe. It's all about the stories, and it's all about the human adventure and the human challenge of what goes on. Okay, and that was carried over into the Ocean Globe race. And Marco rings up, and all of a sudden I find this corporate individual who's talking exactly the same language and talking about humans and this, that and the other. And I remember getting off the phone, talking to Jane, my wife, say, Jane, I just met a guy who's talking the same language, and here we are. And if you could, every entrant in the 2023 Ocean Globe race had an amazing backstory, right? And they were all different, completely different. And voila, another example of an entry that was completely different than all the others and very spectacular, because it did all the things that we actually hoped would come from the event. 1,500 young, old people, everyone from all walks of life, countries applying to actually enter the race. Assembling a team to do it properly. It was great media, it was great stories, it was, everything about it was fantastic. And it inspired a lot of people. It inspired a lot of corporates too, which is a good thing, because it was a major financial commitment and more or less a dare I say it, a commercial campaign with the best ethos. Okay, and it really worked. And so now we're sitting here looking at the Spirit of the OGR trophy, which was awarded to an entrant that really didn't do too well in two legs, but it epitomised exactly what happened. So now cut to 2027. It is going to be a little bit different, this next edition. We learnt a lot as an organisation on the key elements. The ethos stays exactly the same. There's some minor bits and pieces, but it's all good, and we'll be making some announcements in the next, probably within the next 2 months, certainly before the 12-month period, about some new developments. The biggest one will be, whilst they're still using paper charts and sextants and radios for communications and so on, is that we will have a live window, and it'll be called the Ocean Globe Window Live. So all of the boats will be able to transmit live from their boats on a scheduled timeline, like a TV channel, okay? And so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the way around the world, you'll be able to go to the window live, and with Translated 9, you'll see we advertise the schedule a week before it goes to air, and once a day you'll be able to watch exactly what's happening on Translated. They'll be able to talk to the camera, but they can't see anything. They don't get any assistance. They don't get any GPS or anything like that. It's a one-way off-the-boat feed, okay? And then after Translated 9 have been on for 3 hours, then it'll roll over to Neptune or one of the other boats. So that's going to increase the viewers. It'll inspire a lot more people, okay? Safety and crew selection for, in terms of our risk mitigation as the event is basically the same. But there are a few little minor ones. I won't go into that now. So where are we at today? We're getting towards 12 months out. We've got 9 entrants at the moment. 2 are still confidential. And 7 of those 9 are returning boats and teams to the event, which says a lot about the challenge and what it means. I think from our observations with Marco, there's all the good reasons to do it again, because it was a lot of fun and all that sort of stuff, but there's some unfinished business, I can see that, because they were performing very well, but so were a lot of other boats. So that side of it is very exciting. We're thinking that we'll have a fleet of 12, 13, 14 boats again for 2027. It's an amazing challenge. It'll be a whole different ball game. There will be a prologue race this time coming from Europe to a start port. I think it's fair to say that we can say the race will probably start in Portugal this time. We won't mention the ports, but that's the way it's headed. From there it'll go down to Cape Town again, to the V&A waterfront. We're going to Auckland. We haven't signed the deal yet, but we're deep into the conversations. Georgie's nodding her head. We don't want to preempt anything, okay, so it's not official yet, but we hope to be in Auckland, and it'll be bigger and better. Then once again, we hope to be in Punta in Uruguay. We had the best time there, and then from there back up to Portugal at the finish. It's really now once again for us to have translated and back in the event, which we only started talking about this about 5 weeks ago or something, and it's fantastic news. We're excited. Marco and his whole team fly a very important flag, and it's something we talk about often. It's all about humans. So it's a no technology race. You all know what happened last time with the whole event. It's going to be more of the same, but it's a true adventure. It's a genuine course around the world. It's really every bit of the speed and the performance of the boats is done by humans, no computers, no nothing. And that sets it apart from anything else that exists. And so, bring it on. I think it's going to come around pretty quickly. We will do everything we can to publicise your hunt for crew because it's unique. What you offer the crew that are coming is unique. And we'll get the word out there as best we can as well, and hopefully you'll have another opportunity to have a crack at winning the OGR, So thank you for supporting the event. Thanks for the media that are following the event. It's a global challenge. It's fantastic. That's all I can really say, and we're excited to have you back, Marco. So, and beyond that, I think you'll need some new hats. That's the first thing. And secondly, we have now got a lot more official with the Globe Yacht Club. The Globe Yacht Club is a club that we formed to cater for all of our events, the Golden Globe, the Ocean Globe, the Mini Globe. You need an official burgee there, and that's the official gold coin of the Globe Yacht Club. So welcome to the Globe Yacht Club. And these are the same racing pennants, but there's two new ones there. These are, you'll get actual ones for the race, but I figured the last ones that you had of the OGR racing pennants would have been well and truly worn out. So here we go again. Well done, Marco.
Now we have it, and we cannot give up.
Yes. Well, if anyone's got any questions about the event, I'm quite happy to try and explain anything you like. But as I said, the safety is very critical. We are making a move with World Sailing to bring the race in line with Category O special regulations, which will then give us an opportunity to bring it more in line to what we'd call traditional sailing. I think it's fair to say that most sailors around the world would love to do a circumnavigation, as I said, and going around via Cape Horn is a big opportunity. So we see a strong future for the Ocean Globe race. It's for every 4-yearly cycle, and we're already signing some agreements for the next 3 editions of the race. So it's not just this isn't just the last. So if you want to come again, it'll be there. Okay. Although if anyone's got any questions on the event?
Yes.
No.
Okay, we'll start.
Fabio Colivicchi, Saili.it. A question for Don and one for Marco. How many boats are entries the race in the second edition? If there is any boat returning, like the example of Translated 9? Penduic, Neptune.
Okay, so as I say, there's 2 boats I can't talk about, but you can probably work a few things out. If I say there are 9 entrants at the moment, okay, so Tapio Ledenton in Galliana, he's back again from Finland. Neptune, which is supporting Parkinson's disease, once again from France with TAN. We've got Outlaw, which is the Baltic 55 from Australia with Australian team, and then we've got White Shadow is back again, but with a new team. It's a Swan 57. Explorer's back again, which is our boat, which is Swan 57. So there's 2 there. Then we've got another Finnish entry, which is another Swan 57. So there's going to be a match race there. There's 3 Swan 57. That's Panacea, which is a Sea Scout crew actually, like the leaders within the Sea Scout group, but it's very heavily focused on promoting Sea Scouts. How many is that? Oh, then we've got a confidential entry from the UK, which is a very powerful entry. They may announce in the next we're hoping they announce before the start. It's done. It's a done deal. Like, it's happening. It's got a fantastic story, but I can't say anything about it. And then there's another French entry, which is the same. So I think I've just gone through 9. And 7 of those were entered and competed in the 23 edition. So there's no other entry like Translated 9, you know, with that sort of storyline, which goes across the board from, you know, young sailors to corporate entities, you know, which is really quite a spectacular opportunity. And I remember Paul saying during the last race, and this was, you know, music to my ears at one stage, and Paul was saying he'd never seen such a successful commercial interpretation of an adventure like that. And that's good news, you know, in a lot of ways, because it spreads the word, you know, in so many areas. But yeah, I mean, Translated stands alone in the principles of, you know, 1500 entries.
Stands alone. Nice.
Yeah, and I can't speak for other boats that haven't entered yet, but you know, there's a lot of colour there. You know, Tan on Neptune is going to be a fantastic story. Tapio is just unbelievable. You know, he'll have another young crew involved and all that sort of stuff. So that's a cool one, and yeah, every one of the boats is good, and hopefully Explorer won't be last next time, you know.
Nice idea, the live coverage, the 24 hours, 7 days. It's a nice idea. The live window of
Yeah, that's
to follow the race. The question for Marco is which boat you will use, because we know that you are TUS 165. Do you use the same boat of the last edition with all the cracks experiencing, or the other one?
There is really no option. We have a boat that already sailed twice around the world. It was the boat of Claire Francis, the first female skipper to sail around the world in 1977. It was the boat that was the fastest one in the last edition. We invested an unreasonable amount of money to cure our beautiful Swan 65 Sparkman and Stevens hull number 9 to be ready again for an around the world race. It's perfect. Before it was the fastest, now is also the strongest.
Thanks.
2 questions. One for Marco. Who will be the skipper? Did you think about it? And the other one to Don. Don, I lost the name of the venue of start and arrive.
The name of the port?
The port, yes.
We haven't announced it yet. we're hoping to in a number of weeks, but it's
It will be
fair
in
to
Portugal.
say it's fair to say that it should be in Portugal. Yes.
Okay.
And,
Thanks a lot. Marco?
And Portugal is not so big, so you can guess it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the skipper, we are taking exactly the same spirit of the other time. So I will apply as the skipper until we find a better one. And it's very easy to find someone better than me. So we want to restart from scratch. Exactly as we did the last time, we want to open the selection for the pro and the non-pro, and we want to decide based on that. I truly hope that some of the people that sailed with us will apply again. We would love to. But also, we're open to see anyone that wants to join us in this adventure.
And what about you?
Fabio, 90% probability I will not be in that boat. 90%. Okay? This time, I would like to be the team manager on shore. I still remember what Paul Caillard told me. He said, Marco, I will never go back into that hell again. And that is exactly what I'll tell the next person. And so I think my contribution is really on the strategy, on the teamwork, on the selection. This is where I can express the best potential for the team. And if I'm on board, it means there is another young person that cannot join the race. And this time is really about allowing everyone to experience this.
Thanks a lot.
Si è distratto. Oops.
What about Isa? Is Isa coming back, or?
I don't know. She's not here, so I'm not answering for her. What I know is that we have 3 kids and a company to run. So my feeling is that she would like to support strategically, but even for me, I didn't say 100%. I said 90%.
You never know.
Okay, and so when I want, so there is Nicola here. I'll tell you a story to let you understand what it means to sail around the world. After the first leg, I discovered after applying that I was seasick all the time. Too late. I cannot give up. I vomited 52 times in the first leg. Was very sick all the time, really bad. And also, because we trained it together, and I think on a race of 4 hours, I vomited 3.5 hours. Okay, and I was always thinking, okay, but next time it will disappear. That's what everybody tells me. You keep sailing, and one point it goes away. No, I tell you, it doesn't. After Cape Horn, you finish it. You have to go around the world once. And so after the first race, the first leg, I asked Nicola actually to break my leg. I said, look, I cannot give up, but if you break my leg, then I have an excuse not to do it. So that is the feeling you have as soon as you start sailing around the world. But then Cape Horn calls you. And when you're close to the moment where you have to sail, there is something calling you and you cannot say no. So that's why I'm saying 90%, because right now I'm sure 100% I will never go. But as soon as the sea calls you and the adventure calls you, it's hard to say no. I think there was some raised hand before. Same question. Okay. Okay. I think we're done. We can drink something together. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure to hear you.